Hello, good morning. In this session of system analysis and design topic, we shall know about the types of testing. Right, what are different types of testing? So, there are two types of testing. One is white box testing and the second one is black box testing. Okay. There are two types of testing, black box testing as well as white box testing. So first understand here, then we would be defining these two. Say this is a program, a process. Okay. So if we test what is the input and what is the output, that's all. We don't test what is the process. We are not concerned at all with the process. We check whether the output is as per input of the program. This type of testing is known as black box testing. Means we don't test the process. This is black box testing. Okay. What do we test? We test input, and as per input, whether the output is correct or not. We are not at all concerned with the processes, the program, but inside the process. If the output is correct, then we say that the product has passed the black box testing. Now if we test the input process as well as output, then this type of testing is known as white box testing. Okay, here we test the input, the process as well as the output. This type of testing is known as white box testing. As the process is also visible, we also test the process. This is also known as glass box testing. Fine. As the process is also visible, we also check the process. This type of testing is also known as glass box testing. So what is the basic difference in black box and white box testing? In black box test, we don't test the process, whereas in white box testing, we along with the input as well as output also test the processes. Now which one is performed first, whether white box or black box? White box testing is performed first, whereas at the later stage we perform the black box testing of the software. So we can define now what are black box testing and white box testing. Black box testing is defined as specified functions of a product. Of course, the product is here software. Knowing the specified functions of a software that it is expected to perform, that it is expected to perform black box tests are conducted to test whether all specified functions are operational, whether all specified functions are operational, and searching for errors in all functions. Searching for errors in all functions. This is the black box testing. Means we know what are the specified functions of the software that is desired to perform. Then we conduct black box tests to check whether all functions are operational. At the same time, searching for errors in all functions means whether all functions are operational and bears no error. So now, white box testing. Now we define white box testing. It is defined as knowing the internal workings of a software product we test that all gears mesh. Knowing the internal workings of a software product, we test that all gears mesh. That is, all internal operations are performed according to specifications. All internal operations performed according to operations and all internal components have been adequately exercised all internal components have been adequately exercised to check whether the components are perfect or do these components bear any kind of errors. So these are the definitions of black box testing and white box testing. So while doing black box testing, what basic functionalities do we check? First, during black box testing, what do we check? The first, all inputs are properly accepted. All inputs are properly accepted. All outputs are properly generated. Integrity of external information or the source from where information comes, that is the database, is maintained. Inputs are properly accepted, outputs are properly generated, and the information that is coming from outside external databases, whether the integrity of these information are maintained, and all functions specified are operational indeed. All functions are operational indeed, means these functions are properly working. Not simply it has been mentioned and it is not activated. So these tests we conduct during the black box testing. It means the black box testing is performed to check some fundamental aspects of the software, whereas in white box testing we perform these basic tests. On logical conditions. On both true and false side. All logical conditions on true and false sides. Loops are executed as per specifications. All logical conditions are examined on its true and false sides. All loops are executed as per specified functions. All independent paths which lead to specific modules is traversed at least once. Independent paths means, say this is a flow chart. Independent path means this is one independent path. This one is another independent path, second, and the third one is this independent path. And this statement says that we have to check whether the software executes all the independent paths at least once in its entire life cycle. All the independent path is traversed at least once in its total life cycle. And say if a path is not traversed at least once throughout its life cycle, it means that path is unnecessary. Say control never comes to this path, it means here the condition is useless, and this much statement that have been written for this branching is also useless. This increases the execution time, the total length of the program, and the total program becomes, execution of the total program becomes delayed. So all the independent paths in the program is tested. We execute all the loops at its boundary and within their operational bounds, and we also check the internal data structure. Internal data structure. So these are all about black box test and white box test. In the next class, we shall also understand something more about the black box and white box testing. Today we understood there are two types of testing, black box and white box. In black box testing, we basically check input as well as output. No process is tested in black box testing. That is the fundamental aspects of the software, whether the software is delivering all its functionalities successfully or not. In white box testing, we also test process besides input as well as output, means we check the internal logical construction of the software. Okay, so that's all for the day. Thank you.